Hello and welcome to Fireside Chats with your president, but more importantly, your fellow citizen, Creedence Hebert. This week's issue is executive orders. They are temporary laws that are created by the president without the approval of Congress. Executive orders can be overturned by the Supreme Court, or once another president is in office, they can immediately reverse the order. Also, without Congress's approval. The major issue with executive orders is that they give the president the ability to create laws much faster than the Supreme Court or the next president can overturn them, which makes them too powerful. This issue, throughout time, has yielded controversial results. In 1933, amidst the Great Depression, President Franklin Delano Roosevelt signed an executive order number 6102, which authorized the confiscation of gold from American citizens at a price of $20.67 per ounce. The government then raised the value of gold, to $35 per ounce. This action allowed the value of the US dollar. This action lowered the value of the US dollar by 41% against gold from Zeta and Guide 2025. While this action was drastic and controversial, it did better the U.S. economy and help end the Great Depression. This order, while it did have a great outcome, was a government overreach. It was a single figure of authority ordering American citizens to give up their personal, valuable property. While this order did have a good reason and outcome, a president should not have the power to do such a thing. More recently, the current president signed an executive order to end racial indoctrination in K-12 education. This executive order was created with the purpose of establishing a parent's trust in America's schools to provide their children with rigorous education and to instill a patriotic admiration for our incredible nation and the values for which we stand, from Ending Racial Indoctrination 2025. This essentially means that this order was put in place to reinforce the teaching of American values to K-12 students. This is an issue as the president is enforcing the instillment of certain values onto children without the approval of Congress. One person should not be able to decide the values of its citizens, especially in this country. One person should not decide what values the citizens of this country should be taught, as that violates the idea of popular sovereignty. Furthermore, this order was passed the same day as it was announced, which is remarkably faster than the traditional bill becomes a law. This speed is part of what makes an executive order so powerful. One president can create laws far faster than they can be taken down, which takes away the idea of popular sovereignty. My solution to this issue would be to eliminate the executive order altogether. No single figure should have such a power, as it goes against the ideals of popular sovereignty and negates the entire legislative branch. A group that has been fighting the abuses of the current president, Donald Trump, is the Brennan Center for Justice. Some of the ways they are fighting the abuses of power are by making them more widely known, coordinating friend of the court briefs, and trailblazing new definitions for the power of the executive order, from fighting an abuse of executive power, ND. My solution to this, while it would limit my own powers as president, would be supporting the idea of a peaceful transfer of power, which is one of the values that built this country. Thank you for listening to this week's Fireside Chat with your president and citizen, Creedence Hebert.